Hope you're doing well. So, I've been on my channel a little bit more. There's going to be a lot of changes going on. Um, so when I first started this channel, I was doing everything about symbolism and spirituality basically. And then it kind of developed into a wellness channel where I talked about things surrounding wellness. And which would be like herbs or like, drinking the right things. And then it became about heritage and culture, which is a part of wellness. And really, I realized that my channel has been changing as I have been changing. And, things weren't really left for me. And now I'm like in a rebuilding stage. And I kind of just want to, like, this is now going to be more geared towards beauty and spirituality and how you incorporate beauty, fashion, and how music is a big part of how I cultivate myself and how I basically take care of myself. And of course, like other ways that I've been showing online about like how I live my life as an everyday person that's working a job, not making the most amount of money. And I really want to basically share how I soothe myself, how I balance the duality of life and come back to self through things that I've always loved, like fashion, music. And, when I was growing up as a little girl, like I just remember my mother always had tea. You know what I mean? I never was like big on like soda drinking and things like that. Even like down to the things that we cooked, it would be like vegetables and like we would always have fruit. It'd be like, beans and things like that. And even though I wasn't vegan then, I've been vegan for 10 years. So it's kind of like now my channel is developing into it's still the same source of being a wellness channel. It's just more authentic to who I am and how I was raised and the things that really nourished me at a young age that still nourish me now. And just kind of like how I evolved that through like the way that I eat and my choices. Like yesterday I had like an allergic reaction the day before yesterday and it really affected me. So I had my juice, I got a bunch of orange juice, I got some ginger tablets, I took my vitamins, but also just like, so that's the way that like I take natural foods and and I incorporate healthy like things in my life, putting good things in my body, but also like the things that are material that basically also nourish me, like being able to find clothes and find beautiful items to wear that make me feel more confident as a woman. And I really want my show to be like my YouTube to be more about like me as an everyday woman and like what I do to cultivate myself as a person. You know what I'm saying? And what are the things that nourish me as a woman in America? So I really want to show that more. Um, that side and still also show you like how I pick things or how I also bring symbolism into my life. Like I always wear my cats. I think it's very important to have sacred symbols and have totems or you know relics or certain images that bring you back to yourself and also help you remember cultivating as a person and what you're cultivating within. So, right now, like it's always been the cat for me. Like I've always had cats growing up. I have this cat necklace that I wear every day, which is attached to like my dad's necklace that passed that I wear with me every day. I have a picture of a tiger on like my wall, and I'm about to get a tapestry with a tiger. So cats have always been like big for me, and it's kind of like my energy. So just ways that we cultivate ourselves as people, but for me, I'm a woman. So how I cultivate myself as a woman and take care of myself inside out and the choices that I make. So as I'm going on like this new path of like being being in a space that fits who I am and going after a vocation that fits who I am and that nourishes me more, I really want to share that with you. So this show is going to be like my YouTube is going to be more geared to that. And now that I'm in my own space, it's wonderful because you get to see more of who I am, and then I get to share stuff. So I would definitely, just keep an eye out, see what's changing with me, and also, I might lose some of my audience because I feel like before it was more about like it still is about culture, it still is about symbolism, it still is about spirituality, but it's about how beauty and all of that is a big part of those things too, and bringing those two rounds together, bringing like spirituality, quote unquote, or occult wisdom to like everyday practices as a woman and everyday things that basically make you feel confident, that make you feel nourished and be able to face the day. So that's more so like what's going to be happening because a lot has shifted in my life. There's a lot of things shifting in everyone's life if we look at the astrological alignments in general and how consciousness is shifting and changing. So there's going to be a lot of changes. I'm going to be also writing too on my Medium about my inspiration. Um, I'm just going to be doing a lot of different stuff, but it's all going to be intertwined into wellness and how I cultivate myself as a woman. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm looking forward to being in a space with people that actually resonate more with me because it's like the more that we evolve or whatever, the more that we evolve as people, um, and we realize the things that actually nourish us and the things that work for us as a human being, the more that we attract the right individuals in our life. And I find that, you know, when you're still trying to discover your authentic like path, a path that works for you, especially when you're creative, it's just difficult to find like the right community. So I feel like now because I'm sharing more of like who I am and who I was before I learned everything I learned about culture and heritage, and now taking those learnings and my learnings from symbolism and intertwining it into intertwining it into my YouTube and intertwining it into who I was and how I was raised. It's going to be more of an authentic space for the right people to show up on my channel and for me to show up the way that I really want to show up in the world and have more success in that way. So I hope that makes sense. Um, this is just I wanted to come on and talk about it. So this is just a quick live to show you, like maybe I'll lose some followers, which I think would be a good thing, and I'll gain some new people that actually belong in my space because I'm showing up I'm showing up more as like myself, which I think is important when trying to attract the right community on YouTube or wherever you are. So anyway, that's it. Much love. Peace. Have a great day.